Previously on Love Island.
Angela,
I'm gonna say this right now. That lady is not gonna win a single competition. I think she's gonna be everybody's mom in the house, and she's gonna get by on her likability.
Were great for a low budget movie.
It's 100% everybody, every single person.
Don't talk to me. And Crazy Eyes, if you want to go back
what
and
is that?
take
What is
everybody
Crazy
and
Eyes
put me to
from?
bed.
I think that'll make the episode.
how you been doing?
Been going through some emotions watching the rest of the some of these new episodes.
Didn't you have a nightmare last night?
I did, and it was so realistic. It was so realistic,
Yeah.
which is the worst. And then I couldn't go back to sleep for like an hour.
Speaking of sleep, Angela was kind of being her own sleep paralysis demon in the HOH room.
She literally is a sleep paralysis demon.
Fucking crazy eyes.
Just like her awake at 3 a.m. looking at the TV going, the collective is coming for me. She's scary.
Yeah, that shit was wild,
I bet
bro.
she's a really good real estate agent, though.
I hope so.
She just fucking like steamrolls you until you give her the deal she wants for her clients.
Or she never sells a house and then she just stews about it. And her husband's like trying to sleep next to her, and she's just, oh, goddamn clients won't take a 30-year fixed mortgage.
I would hate to like customer serve her.
Yeah. I mean, dude, she's the most Karen there's ever been.
Yeah. Like, what is she like in real life? I bet people are going to come out of the woodwork and be like, I served her at a restaurant in Utah and she screamed at me until I cried.
Welcome back to Sooki Sooki, the world's only Big Brother sports podcast. I'm Tian, and this is
Adouria.
And woo boy.
It's been a week in the Big Brother house.
Yeah. Has it ever? I can't remember the last time I saw an opening week this eventful since the season with Devin.
Yeah. I will be honest, I've not enjoyed a lot of the more recent seasons. I've not even, like, I didn't even finish the last season. And I think the consensus for last season was people hated it.
Yeah.
The twists, the people, all of it bad. All of it so bad. But this season I'm enjoying it so far. Even the annoying people, like I'm enjoying watching Angela spiral.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of the most heartbreaking things was that Matt had to go home, and we don't get to see how that drama further develops.
I guess you could say he was math through. I thought of that on my walk this morning.
Is that like a play on Matthew?
Yeah. I thought of it for a long time on my
Welcome
walk.
to Sooki Sooki, the world's... Yeah, it was a crazy week, man. Where to start? We kind of got ahead of ourselves. So obviously Matt went home.
Yeah, all of our first impressions were completely wrong. Everybody I thought I was going to hate, I like.
We did caveat it halfway through by saying, like, we're probably going to be wrong. And we certainly were. We were very wrong about a lot of things. A lot of the people we thought were going to be weak or going to be annoying ended up being solid. And then a lot of the people we thought were going to be strong ended up being idiots. Just goddamn idiots.
Mackenzie.
I mean, she had a weak bitch moment, but I'm not going to go ahead and write her off yet, you know, because she ultimately came to the right conclusion. So let's start from the beginning, okay? So the week kicked off with the HOH competition. Mm-hmm. And boy, I didn't see that coming.
I did not expect her to win. I think a lot of those guys, those men with their biceps, they were just putting too much sauce on their the slider disc thing.
Oh, 100%. So they played a game called
New Rules.
And essentially it was just shuffleboard with some variations, you know. And lo and behold, Angela wins the HOH for the first week, which me and Adouria were rooting against because up until that point, she had been a lot.
She was doing a lot. She had a kind of intense. Not really intense because she didn't think it was intense. She's one of those women, I think, that is just intense and doesn't realize it.
Yeah, I feel like she was annoying at first, but I think she was just genuinely trying to make friends.
Yeah,
and she probably she married her high school sweetheart, so she hasn't had to make a friend in like 40 years.
Yeah, she's had no new friends outside of like her husband and her children.
All her new
children.
friends are made by her.
Yeah, they came from her eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was probably just so excited to be in there, and she's thinking about like, oh, all of the things that like you see in Big Brother. So she came off just a little too much with Matt in the bathroom, where she was like, "You're gonna be in the hammock. You're gonna be Mr. Showmance. You're so pretty." And then Matt was like, "What? Me?"
Yeah, she was totally like, if I was 20 years younger, I would suck your dick right now.
Literally,
I suck your dick off the bone, son.
She's like, "I'll suck it now." I haven't sucked a different dick since ever. Please.
I haven't sucked a different dick. Is crazy.
She only one dick for the rest of her life.
She probably hasn't even sucked that one in quite a while. Anyway, this is not about sucking. This is about Big Brother.
Yeah.
But she was, I understandably, she was very excited. And even in her testimonials, she was just like bursting with like, oh, dude, I've been wanting, this is a dream of mine.
Yeah.
So it was understandable. But she did start rubbing people the wrong way, specifically Matt.
Yeah. And then after she had won HOH, not a smart move for Matt, but Matt's in the freaking backyard talking to people that he doesn't even realize she's already working with.
Yeah, he's just kind of being really like careless because I guess he just, I don't know.
He that conversation rubbed him the wrong way. Understandably, Matt is very much like, I'm trying to break the stereotype of like the pretty boy, which, okay, shut up. But I get it. He doesn't want to be targeted immediately for how he looks and the things that people think are going to come with that. But
yeah, he's fighting for pretty rights. Who's really going to take him seriously?
Nobody. And he's out in the backyard. He's talking to, I think, Chelsea and Joseph. I think somebody else was there, but Chelsea and Joseph already at this point are working with Angela.
Right.
And Matt's just like, oh, I know she's going to put me up for sure. Like, don't say that about the HOH, because if you think that, I feel like you should just go talk to her.
Or at least talk to people that you're sure are on your side, Which is nobody at this point. So just shut your pretty mouth, you pretty bastard.
Well, at this point, he's bonded with Kenny a little bit because he's like, my dad was a cop, and I don't know why, but you're giving me a cop vibe. And Kenny is like, I'm not a cop. Yeah, you're like my son.
So yeah, Angela wins the HOH, and she handles herself well. She starts repairing relationships. She brings all the house guests up to her room to ask their opinion about who they would, just to keep the blood off her hands. She was like, oh, who would you nominate if you were me? Mm-hmm. And I thought all of that was very smart. And I was like, oh my God, she's really surprising me.
Yeah. Plus, like, it really shirks responsibility from her. Is that a word? Shirk?
Yeah.
Shirks responsibility from her, because whoever she puts up, she can just, like, if they're mad at her, she could just be like, I would just put you up because everybody else wanted you up.
Yeah, exactly. It takes all the responsibility off her hands. Mm-hmm. So she was playing the game well, and then Matt comes up to her room. Yeah, and this is the first seed of her spiraling.
Well, she brings him up because Joseph comes to her and is like, Matt thinks you're going to put him up because of this conversation you apparently had in the bathroom. So she's like, okay, I have to repair this. Brings him up to the room and is like, I'm just excited. I basically just word vomited. And then he does not have the right response to that.
Yeah, man. He has probably the worst response I've ever seen. Essentially, okay, up until this point, Angela was being diplomatic. She was being like, I'm so sorry I said that about you. It was just totally like, just a spur of the moment thing, and basically taking all accountability for what she said. And then Matt was just like, okay, good, because if you had been serious and you had put me up, I would have killed you next week. I would have literally killed you.
Literally, he was like, if you put me up, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck you up. If you put me up, it will be bad for you, not for me.
No, I'm not going to evict you. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, literally.
I'm going to kill you, and then and they're never going to be able to find you because I'll have eaten every bite. So he is very intense. He just threatened her. And then she just starts to completely spiral. It almost seemed like this was some kind of like a trigger for her, like some kind of trauma response, you know, like this has happened to her before.
She probably, some guy in high school that was really hot, like her husband's probably her second choice. Not to be fucked up, but somebody probably did her dirty in high school. Some hot footballer probably was like, you're crazy. And then, you know, and now she is crazy. Even in that moment, though, she still handled it well. She was just like, you're scaring me. She handled it, I think, as best as she could in the moment.
Right.
Because if I was her, I would be like, oh, you're threatening me? I'm going to put you up. Let's see if you can make good on your threat.
Yeah. But, you know, obviously that was the beginning of the end for Matt, you know?
Yeah.
Like he could have so easily, like any normal person in that situation would have just been like, oh, that's totally fine. I love you.
Yeah, if the HOH is talking to me, I'm trying to stay safe and be like, oh, it was a misunderstanding. I'm sorry for, like, if I said anything or any way that I made you feel like water under the bridge.
Right.
And that, like, he would still be in the house had he done that.
And so she starts a spiral, and I mean spiral in the truest sense of the word. Like Lydia from season 6 type of spiraling. Where she just starts going crazy. It's 3 a.m. in her HOH room.
She's literally looking at the TV screen. A bunch of people come up to her room that, like, she already has said that she's working with, but they start to bring in more people into their alliance, I think, without checking in with her, because the alliance ends up bigger than what it started at.
Yeah.
Then they give themselves a name, the Collective. Who's in the Collective? It's Quinn,
Chemo, Chelsea, Joseph, Cam, and
T-Core. I think there's...
And then there's 2 more, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's
a typical, like, beginning of Big Brother, like, oh, let's all be buddy, and then it never works out.
Yeah, where it's like half the house.
Yeah,
it's
they're
just
like,
too
oh,
many fucking people.
If we get the whole house in this alliance, we'll have all the numbers.
One thing I know about Big Brother is there's always going to be too many alliances in the beginning that never work out because nobody really knows how each other works yet. Like, nobody's really worked together. Nobody knows who's a control freak or who's stupid big mouth.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Can I say one thing? I think it would be so funny if one of these seasons there's an alliance formed where it's everybody except for one guy. That would be amazing.
I mean, I feel like Devin basically did that in his season.
Yeah, but it's different from, like, you know, you're the villain and you're the biggest target to, like, they just arbitrarily picked you.
Just a random. That would be so sad and fucked up for that person. That person would self-evict.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'll go home. Nobody likes me.
Or they would win.
And that would be probably the greatest Big Brother moment never to come.
Yeah.
But Quinn and I think maybe Joseph, 2 people walk up to Angela's room and they're like, oh, we've got all these people. We're the Collective. We're behind your back. Like, we got you. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I thank you for including me. And then they leave and she looks at the camera and she goes, the Collective is coming for me.
No, she didn't say that immediately after. It was like, she was like pacing around the room, just like, I don't buy it. And then she was like, the Collective is here to get me. and then I understood why she stayed up until 3 a.m. because she was practicing what she was about to do the next morning, which was... It makes no sense because she put on the guise of like, oh, I'm totally cool with this Collective. And then the next morning, or I don't know if it's the next morning, but the very next scene, she just blows up on the whole house.
She does. She gives a speech that she thinks is one of the greatest moments in Big Brother history.
Yeah.
Probably will go down as one of the dumbest moments in Big Brother history. Where she comes down and she's like, you all think I'm mama? I'm not mama.
I am Papa.
And then she goes, everybody who came up to my room, I want to thank you for that low-level movie performance.
Yeah.
And then she starts going off on Matt, obviously.
Crazy eyes.
And Matt's just freaking sitting there. He's just taking it. I feel like he probably handled himself as best as he could. She would not let him respond, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, like, the only mistake he made was he threatened her really intensely. pretty big mistake.
Yeah, which you said this when we were watching, and we try not to talk when we're watching because we're trying to save it all. Save it for here.
Keep it juicy for
Keep
you
it
guys.
juicy.
We're
But
juiced up.
but
I'm on steroids.
I am also on steroids. But you made a good point, which is like if she had just gone to the collective discreetly and been like, hey, I had this conversation with Matt. I tried to apologize, and
Yeah.
he basically threatened me. I think he should be our target. They would have, and like, duh, you of course want to go after the guy who looks like he's going to be a physical threat. They
Yeah.
would have been on board, no problem. But then to hear that, like, okay, they threatened our alliance member, which means they're basically threatening our entire alliance, they would have had no problem going after him.
Yeah, and nobody else in the house had a problem with her except for Matt, you know?
Yeah.
So this would have been like a super win for her.
Yeah, and then she started going after Mackenzie, who's sitting there. Mackenzie and Matt are like slowly starting to flirt. Two hottest people in the house, of course. And she looks at Mackenzie and she's like, "You can do better. You can do better. You could do better."
Yeah, and that's why I think it's a trauma response, because I don't know how.
She probably had to tell herself that.
Yeah, exactly.
Look in the mirror
She's
and go,
don't,
"You can do
Don't
better."
trust those hot guys. Don't trust anybody whose chin is bigger than his forehead. But anyway, I mean, I totally get why she's starting to spiral. It's a high pressure environment. You're the first HOH, which is a tough position to be.
Most people, I mean, at least we've seen in past seasons, a lot of people have just tried to make it far enough in the HOH competition that they show like, okay, I'm capable of something.
Right.
Because usually people will just put up whoever lost first. It would have been hard to do that with this competition. But nobody usually wants the first HOH because, okay, you have to make the first move. You're the first one to get
it's
blood on your
arguably
hands.
one of the worst HOHs to have.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really give you that much power. It's
Yeah.
too early on for you to really leverage it to gain allies and
You don't have a good
Yeah.
reason to put anybody up yet. And then the next week, it's like, all right, well, you're the first person who put people up. If one of them wins HOH, you're going up, obviously.
Yeah.
You've already made enemies, essentially.
Exactly. But, you know, she could have played it way smarter. And I think she did have a really good game plan. It just, when Matt threatened her, it just triggered her and she went into defense mode and it was all downhill from there.
She just assumed everybody was working with Matt against her.
Yeah. And she just became totally paranoid. So after the discussions she had with all the house guests, the nominations come, and she nominated all the house guests, or a lot of the house guests had a problem with Lisa because
They just thought that she was doing too much. They couldn't read her. She went outside to some
typical coastal elite, you know?
Yeah, she went outside to some of the guys working out who also happened to be have-nots, and she's like, "Do you want breakfast? Can I sprinkle some elbow glitter on you?" And people they just didn't get her. I think she was
just kind of clueless at the beginning, I
Yeah.
think, and people took it maliciously because the have-nots, if you guys didn't know, they have to be on slop for the whole
Yeah.
week, and they don't get hot showers and this and that.
I don't think she did it intentionally. I think she just
Yeah,
genuinely
me
was
too.
like, "I forgot."
Yeah, I think she forgot. She had a dumb bitch moment, and we all have those.
I have a lot of those every day.
So yeah, she was nominated, and it was kind of out of left field for her. Who else was nominated? Kenny was nominated because he was the next best in the HOH
Yeah,
competition.
and I think he saw that coming, and then Chemo is just. I mean, we were right. Chemo is a sacrificial
lamb. We smelt it on him.
We smelt it on him. And she.
Or should we call him the sacrificial roast pig?
Aloha. I got what you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her reasoning was just like, "Oh, we had the least game talk. Like, I didn't have as much game talk with all of you. I don't really know where you're at." Which is a good reason to put people up.
Right.
I think that's a good excuse.
And at this point, we were so worried because I have a personal stake in Chemo because we're related, and
You're twins. You're twin brothers.
yeah, he's my twin, lost at birth. We both have one half of a medallion. My dad couldn't handle the financial, stress of having two large sons. We both came out the womb 13 pounds. So my mom
Your
is
poor
dead.
mother.
My mom is dead, and
Rip Jennifer.
yeah, she's dead. And so I was just really sad because if he had been the first one to go home, Man, it would have taken him a minute to get over it.
Yeah, I feel like it would have not been good for him.
Yeah, he would have cried.
He would have spiraled.
He would have cried for 4 months straight. Those would have been some wet mattresses he was selling people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is a new Tampa, lightly used.
Yeah. I'm glad he didn't.
Oh, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. So Chemo gets picked. It's very sad. And Matt, doesn't get nominated. And I think that was genuinely a way of extending an olive branch to him.
Yeah. Here's what I think actually triggered Angela spiraling was not that conversation, but how he acted and what he didn't do after, because everybody came up to her and was hugging her after that.
Right.
Like, so hard. You had to make the first noms. Great job, girl.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was just eating the Cheerios.
He was just eating the Cheerios, and she was just looking at him, just going like, look at him fucking eating his Cheerios with his crazy eye.
Hug.
He didn't hug me. I could have put him up and he didn't hug me.
Yeah. She was, low key, she was power tripping at that point.
She was basically like, he didn't come fucking kiss my ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
I've never seen The Godfather. But I know that line.
Me neither. So, yeah, she starts power tripping. And yeah, you're right. That was the moment she started spiraling. Because I think she actually took the threat and was like, all right, whatever, She kind of brushed it under the rug because she didn't nominate him. And then in the confessional, she was like,
she was like, he didn't, everybody's hugging me. Matt just sat there eating his cereal. He didn't hug me.
Yeah, yeah.
I could have put him up and he didn't come hug me.
Why is she Irish all of a sudden?
I don't know.
He didn't come hug me. Fuck.
You fucking fuck.
So, something that a friend of ours had mentioned to us is that there was actually some other events that happened leading up to her blow up, which was that Matt was starting to gather allies.
Yeah.
But gather allies in a way that wasn't very discreet, where Angela could see it happening.
He was just bringing in a bunch of people into the storage room, which I think is what made her think like, oh, the collective is working with Matt.
They were just trading Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, they were playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's duel! And Matt, at this point, also just didn't even think that he was in any trouble. Me and Adouria were like, oh, she's going to backdoor him. But he was totally unaware of that happening to him.
Yeah.
He was like,
yeah, he was like, dodged a bullet,
Yeah.
dodged a crazy bullet. I truly think he was not giving her a second thought. Like, he was not thinking about it anymore.
Yeah.
Which is probably what truly upset her, was that she knew he was not thinking. She was like, I'm not in his head.
Yeah.
He doesn't love me.
There's obviously a lot of stuff that's going on between these two people that is not gameplay related. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Sexual tension?
Maybe. Mommy issues? Also maybe. Racism? Definitely.
Not to throw any allegations out there, but she is from Utah.
No, I meant Matt.
Oh, you think he's racist against whites?
Yeah.
But he's half white.
You can hate yourself.
True.
Oh, we forgot to mention at the top of the episode, the upgrade powers were revealed. And boy, oh boy, were they some
good
doozies.
They are good powers, dude.
One is definitely better than the other, which I think is a little fucked up, but
they're both pretty good.
They're both pretty good, but the time limit makes a huge difference,
It does. So Mackenzie gets her upgrade, and it's called America's Veto, which essentially is that... How does it work?
Dumb bitch moment alert.
Oh, I have to look at my notes.
The American's veto means that she essentially has the power of veto on any vote for the whole entire competition.
Yeah.
And she can choose to veto herself or someone else off the block. And
Secretly.
America gets the vote.
Yeah, and they don't find out until eviction night, which is so fucked up because whoever is the replacement has no time to campaign. And it kind of makes me think it's very reminiscent of the coup d'etat power.
Yeah, absolutely. But given that it's essentially a popularity vote, whoever's the least likable will probably go home. So no one's really going to be sad about that, you know?
Well, the House's perception versus our perception.
I don't care about their perception.
No, but I know, but
they're just pawns for
whoever
my enjoyment.
we don't like might be different than whoever the rest of the House likes. Because America's not voting for who goes home. We're just voting for the replacement.
They're warm props.
And that's exactly...
Stop humanizing them.
That's exactly how Allison Grodner views them. Shout out Allison Grodner. She's the GOAT. She's the only reason this show is made it this far.
Honestly, Allison, if you're watching this, which I know you are because I know you Google your name every week.
We love you, Mommy.
We love you, and we're open. So yeah, the first power is insane. I think that's a game changer.
It's got no expiration.
You can essentially,
that's crazy.
I mean, it completely could change the way you play. If I had that power, I would be a floater up until I get threatened.
Yeah.
I would.
You just rely on your social game.
Yeah, I mean, no, I wouldn't. I would completely be in the backdrop. Just try to take as little attention as possible, not win any comps. And then when I start being threatened, because eventually people start weeding out the floaters, that's when I'll start using my power as leverage, not using it directly, but being like, hey, I have the power to do this to get allies.
Yeah, you could be like, hey, I have this power. If you want to work with me, like, it essentially guarantees us safety.
Yeah.
And the only person who's safe in that situation is the HOH of whatever week they happen to use it.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, spoiler alert, they don't play that smartly because they're not geniuses like me.
And Quinn's power...
Right. Oh, shit, we didn't even talk about that. Quinn's power is...
the deep fake HOH.
The deep fake HOH, which I'm a little confused by. I'm not really sure how it works.
So essentially it strips the other HOH of power. They're still safe, but it gives Quinn the ability to control the noms, and then it creates a fake avatar that looks like whoever the current HOH is. He only has 4 weeks to use it. They mentioned that the deep fake avatar can be used to spread information. We're not quite sure how that works.
Yeah, because I was thinking that the only way they could use that to spread misinformation is if they put a mum order on the HOH. If the HOH doesn't go around blabbing, that's the only way that would be convincing.
I just feel like you can't control somebody, though, from...
I mean, that's why I'm confused by it.
We'll see it when... it plays out. I mean, he's only got 3 weeks left to use it, so... And both of them, both Mackenzie and Quinn, have told everybody about their power, essentially. Not everybody, but a good chunk of people.
Man.
Quinn immediately goes up to the HOH room and is like, Angela, I have this power. Final 2.
I mean, Mackenzie also does it for like a worse reason.
Yeah. Well, she loops in Leah and Matt, which I really would have been on board with that alliance. I really like Leah. Everything bad I said about her last week, I take it back, okay? She just did not come off great in the beginning. But
I think whatever we said about Leah, take 30% of that and put it on Mackenzie.
Yeah. Mackenzie considered using her power on Matt, which would have been so, like, I get it. You're in the house 24/7 with these people, so
yeah, you want to have a hot hunky babe.
Yeah, and your perception of time is very different. Like, people often say "I love you" in the Big Brother house, and a day there is probably really like a week. So you really feel like
it's so crazy to say "I love you" quick. It's so crazy.
It is crazy to say it on the 4th date.
I mean, who would do that? Definitely not somebody with a working dick. Yeah, and the fact that, I mean, she ultimately didn't go through with it.
I would have lost. I already have lost a little bit of respect for her.
That's what I'm saying, is that even the fact that she entertained that in the testimonial is enough to be like, okay.
Well, she even said it to him.
Yeah, she's demonstrating poor judgment, And again, she's probably one of the youngest people in the house, I think. She is 22 years old, so she's maybe a little bit like, frontal cortex is not fully...
frontal lobe's not formed.
Yeah. She's got gooey brain right now. She's got goo brain.
Gooey baby brain.
Gooey baby brain.
Yeah.
Gooey baby brain brought to you by... No. Gooey baby brain coming to Fox next. All right. So, what were we just talking about? Oh, the powers.
Yeah.
Quinn, you could justify it a little bit. He used it to get in good with Angela.
The current HOH. And
Yeah.
he had no idea the fucking
fallout
that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it is like you were saying, it's pretty short-sighted, but I totally understand why he would do that. Like, hey, here's what I can offer you. Don't put me up. Let's work together and we can figure out how to use this power in a way that benefits both of us.
But in the moment, do you remember what I said? I was like, man, this is such a dumb decision.
Yeah. And I talked to Maddie about it too, and she was just like, it's so short-sighted.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Shout out Maddie.
Shout out Maddie, who has a iconic Big Brother Tumblr, if you're on Tumblr.
Yeah, and in the moment I was like, he's doing this. There's only two reasons that he could have to do this. One is to build an alliance with a potentially strong player, which at that point, I could see how he would see Angela as a strong player because she was starting to, pick up the pieces from the entrance she made.
The only person that she really rubbed the wrong way was Matt.
Right. So I get that aspect. The other aspect is maybe he wanted to keep himself safe, which is he has the power to change the nominations.
Yeah, it's just so the only thing that I would be worried about, and I would, if I had that power and I was in that position, I would think about it. I would be like, would it be a good idea for me to go tell the HOH, form some sort of bond with them? The risk though is okay, you have this power. I'm going to put you up so you're forced to use it so that you don't have it in a couple weeks and you can use it later against me.
Exactly. And at this point, he has no reason to trust Angela beyond the fact that she's a, Midwestern-y type of lady and she seems like a mom. So I thought that was a little silly of him, but I do understand that there are potential benefits.
Yeah.
However, after the fallout that came from the collective is coming to get me. After the fallout that came from that, huge mistake by Quinn to give that power to her because now she doesn't trust you.
Yeah, well, I think he's just trying to appease her. As far as he knows, he's still working with her.
Yeah, but
as far as the collective know, they're still working with her.
No, I mean, everyone in the collective said she done blew up the collective.
Yeah, I mean, she did, but
once an alliance is named, it's dead. Once it's named publicly,
yeah,
it's dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it was a pretty big mistake. Luckily for him, she is likely to be. I mean, if I were to put my money on it, she's probably going to be the next one to go home. So she's going to take a secret to the grave. My
grandma is very concerned that Angela's going to stay in the house and everybody's scared of her. But I was like, Grandma, don't worry. Don't worry. She's made herself a large target. She's going next, hopefully.
Yeah. Unless Quinn wins the HOH.
You don't think he would use it? Just fuck her up?
No. Because like you said, I think he definitely is a little, looking at her askance. Being oh, this lady's a little unstable, but I think in his mind he's we still have a final two. I would keep her safe. Make good on that. I don't
think he's gonna take. I don't think their final two is.
I guess we'll
anymore. See. And the veto happens. Do we want to talk about the veto? Mm-hmm. It's
spelling bee.
Kenny, Angela, Lisa, Chemo, Joseph, and Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And Matt's already, trying to worm his way with Joseph and Brooklyn and be who's gonna use it or who's gonna not use it so that I'm safe. And Brooklyn is considering not using it. Joseph.
No, I think she was. Everybody he talked to beyond the people that he was already close with gave him kind of a wishy-washy answer. Just I'm not sure right now what I would do.
Yeah, which makes sense because it's come eviction night, you don't know what's going to happen because of the AI comp.
Yeah.
You don't know who's actually going to be left on the block. So people are just well, if you're against this person, then I have to save that person. But if you're against this person, then okay, maybe you could have my vote. So the veto competition comes. It's the spelling bee and Lisa wins.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun competition. They had to slog through honey.
It's a classic BB competition. We've seen the spelling bee comp in the past.
Yeah.
This time it was a little bit different because people were allowed to delete letters. And fucking Kenny, a genius, was like, I'm going to delete E because there's so many words with E.
Yeah, E. I think he said E was the most common vowel. So he was smart in doing that. He chose a word, obviously, without E. And he actually ended up fucking over chemo.
Yeah.
Not that it mattered, because Lisa spelled like responsible or some shit. No,
What?
she spelled...
She spelled some like chef word.
Was it a chef word?
I don't know if I wrote down what she spelled. Hold on.
She spelled a long word. It was 9 letters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people were scrambling because they were like, oh my God, we can't use E now.
Yeah.
And so most of the people didn't even lock in and answer completely or spell a full word.
Yeah.
I can't remember what word she spelled, but she won. Did not see that coming. I really thought that she was going to be a weak bitch. I thought she was not going to be able to handle the pressure of the Big Brother house. We saw her crying into the fridge after the nomination ceremony.
I'm not gonna lie, that endeared me to her.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it? I thought she was I was ready for her to leave. I was like, she's probably going to be the first one gone. She's going to self-evict. It's too much pressure. But she has really surprised me. I think she's going to be potentially a very smart player. She's very careful with her words.
Right.
Even after the nomination, even after the veto ceremony, the way that she would talk to people, she was asking questions and just fucking making logs in her head. After the nomination ceremony, Angela went straight to her and was like, you're not my target. And she was just like, how do I trust you? Like, you put me up.
Yeah. She knows how to be candid in a way that doesn't make her seem threatening. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
She's more diplomatic than her pink streaks would lead you to believe. It's too soon to tell. She's only had a couple interactions, but yeah, definitely one of the people that our first impression was dead wrong.
Yeah,
you know?
I think she's handling herself very well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure her being nominated made her do some self-reflecting where she was like, why am I on the block?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm coming off too strong. How can I reel it in and just like, I'm going to lay low and just listen to what's going on around me.
Which is one of the best things you can do in the beginning is just listen. And I think a lot of people go into the house knowing that, and then as soon as they're there, it's like high school again. I gotta be liked. I gotta be liked. I gotta be the popular guy. And you can feel that with Angela. You can feel that with Matt. You know, and
people do too much too soon, and that there's always a handful of people that are doing too much too soon,
Right.
and it always bites them in the butt.
Yeah, and like, you know, honestly, the quiet kid in the back of the class is the one who's going to stay until week 9.
Yeah.
At the very
They're
least.
going to make it till jury until somebody's like, that guy's too quiet. I think he's a genius. We have to get rid of him.
Yeah, and we kind of equate quietness with, he hasn't talked in 8 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
don't
hard.
even know his name. He's a genius.
I think as the game goes on, like as more and more seasons go, the winning strategy changes always, because you can no longer play a game like Derek. People are going to look at you if you're trying to play a game like Derek and be like,
I think you
he
can.
might-
I think you can absolutely play a game like Derek, because the beauty of his game was that he was maintaining a good social game while being super quiet, and he was manipulating his friends into making decisions for him. So
Yeah.
you can still pull that off.
yeah, but I think everybody talks and people connect dots a lot sooner than they used to. So I think if they're like,
That's
oh,
true.
that guy's working with him, he's working with you. So it's just a lot harder to play a game like that. It's harder to get away with a game like that. We've seen it with Paul is a great example. He tried to play a game like that. He tried to be the puppet master and just be in the background and pull strings. And that guy won second place twice.
I mean, he got $100,000. I'm not really that sad for him.
I think it's embarrassing that he won second place twice. And you can
I think it's
see,
embarrassing that he lost to Josh.
I think that is the greatest, like,
Upset.
no, I think that's the greatest karma that man deserves.
You really fucking hate him.
I did not like him. And I don't have a problem saying I don't like him because of the fact that I know somebody who knows him and is like, he's like that in real life.
Duplicity is part of the game, baby.
He just made the season so boring. I don't ever want, as a Big Brother fan, okay, yeah, he's a great player. I can admit that. He knows how to fucking pull strings.
Yes.
As a fan, I want to fucking watch the power shift week to week. I want unexpected things to happen. I want votes to be divided, you know? That's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want the vote to be, I get it. Everybody's like, I'm going to vote with the House to save my butt. But I love when somebody throws a hink vote in there and it's just
Me
like.
too. Yeah.
My favorite thing about him winning second place twice was when he walked out and Julie Chen went, always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Cold-blooded, Julie. Also, Julie, if you're watching this, and I know you are because you Google your name twice a week, we're open.
I'm not open to Julie. She has to stay in the CBS studios. That's where she lives.
Julie is a construct. So the veto ceremony happens, and, you know, surprise, surprise, Lisa takes herself off, and and Matt gets put up.
Yeah.
And this was all because of the cereal incident. It was because he didn't show her love. He didn't go kiss the ring. He gets put up.
I think he knew it was going to happen. It would have been so bizarre if Angela had just put up somebody else. And she was just like, obviously we had a blow up. I'm going to come for you before you have a chance to come for me. I'm putting you up.
Let's go through the timeline of their relationship.
So it goes like this. It's Matt threatens her in the HOH room, put me up.
Yeah.
Nomination ceremony. He doesn't kiss the ring. She spirals. They have the blow up veto competition. He's already trying to work, like, to try to save himself. That's
Yeah.
why he goes to Brooklyn and he's like, if you get the veto, are you going to use it?
Right.
Because he's already trying to prepare for if somebody wins and takes himself off, he knows he's going up.
Yeah.
Then it's veto competition. Lisa wins, takes herself off.
Mm-hmm.
Matt goes up. And now we're heading into evictions.
That wasn't a nervous burp this time. That was a spicy ramen burp. I'm no longer nervous. You people are nothing to me now. This is easy. We done 47 minutes and it was easy.
We don't even need you.
We don't need you. And we don't have you.
Yeah.
We have nobody.
I'll probably have my grandma
Granny.
and-
Hit like and subscribe, Granny.
and maybe Maddie once in a while.
That's good.
Maybe my boss.
I hope Maddie listens. I hope she enjoys our content. Maddie, if you're listening to this, and I know you are because you Google yourself 3 times a week, we're open.
Yeah, so Lisa takes herself off. Angela puts Matt up. And now Matt is doing his due diligence. He's doing his campaigning, which is hard for him because both him and Kenny are so close. So he's like, I don't want to be sitting next to you come eviction night.
And it went from sweet, like their relationship went from sweet to just like, what the fuck, really quickly. You know, because Kenny, what happened after that was Angela was in the kitchen with Kenny, and she was like, hey, if you get the power of veto, you're going to take yourself off, right? And he's like, I just don't even know if I'm willing to compete against my boy Matt. You know, he's like a son to me.
I think, obviously, as a Big Brother fan, it's a bummer to see somebody in there not playing as hard as they can. But I can't help but, like, kind of respect him in his confessional when he's like, I have a beautiful wife. I have beautiful kids. I have a great life.
Yeah.
If I go home, I'm good, dude. Which I feel like is the best sort of mentality to have because it's like, whatever happens, you could just fucking, you're water, dude. You could just go with the flow because you don't give a fuck. Nothing
Be like
affects
water. That was Bruce Lee. Be like water. You have to be like water.
Yeah. Very good. And Angela's going off and she's like, you got to play this game as hard as you can. He's like, dude, I don't care. I don't even care. It's kind of giving a little bit of Jen. She's just like, I'm just here for the experience.
Okay, that's a stretch. Kenny and Jen could not be more different.
I know they're different, but Jen was basically like, I don't care if I win. I'm just here for a good time.
True. There's been many players throughout not many, a few players who've done that. Will Kirby has done that as a deliberate strategy, you know?
Yeah, but
Shout out the GOAT, by the way. Will, we will be seeing you in 4 to 5 years when we have wrinkles.
Probably me sooner because I'm white and I'll need it first.
Yeah. I want to get my eyes even smaller. I want to have no eyes. Could you do that for me, Will? Could you do that for me?
He could and he would. He could and he would.
He's going to make me have no eyes, but be the handsomest I've ever been. Oh my God, that guy's got no eyes, but he's kind of hot.
Why is he kind of a handsome Squidward?
He's kind of making it work, though. The no eyes is working for him.
Pretty soon, nobody's gonna have
And
eyes.
he's got 4 hands. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's not the same as Jen, but he kind of has that same mentality where he's like, whatever happens in here, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
And I think when you have a mentality like that, it's so much easier to get through the drama. The pressure doesn't affect you as much, and
Yeah, he knows what's important in life, and anything that happens in the house is a win for him.
Yeah.
Whereas, like somebody like Angela, she has so much to lose already. She's thinking about this like, oh, this is my dream and this and that. It's so clearly that she's going to be upset if she doesn't do well.
Yeah, well, she's like, I've never had anything exciting happen to me ever in my life. So if I don't win and make the most of this, I'm going to die. I'm going to not recover ever.
Oh my God. She's not that bad.
I just feel like she's giving like F is for family Sue. This is her like salad bowl,
Yeah.
This is her one chance to make something of her life.
Yeah, to put her print on the world.
Yeah.
And boy, has she.
Has she, and we don't like it.
We probably talked about her more than anybody.
Which is shocking because we put her as most forgettable. And we're never going to forget her, and she's not going to let us.
So after the veto competition, Matt obviously starts campaigning super hard for himself, and everyone's giving him kind of non-committal answers because they're smart. I feel like the players this season are especially smart, and they're very accustomed to the Big Brother metagame because in several confessionals they literally said the same thing. I think it was Rubina and Brooklyn. They both said, obviously, if you have someone like Matt on the block, you vote him out. But this alliance he's cooking up, I don't want to be on the wrong side of it. I think they both said the same thing word for word.
Yeah.
So
if you have the chance to get a player like Matt out, get him out.
Yeah.
But you never want to be on the wrong side of the vote. So after Matt gets nominated, he forms the barbershop in an attempt to save himself, which consists of Cam, Brooklyn, Cedric, Rubina, Mackenzie, Leah, Chelsea, and then obviously Matt.
Yeah. I mean, I thought from the get-go, this is a flimsy-ass alliance. 2 people in the alliance have desire to get him out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's basically like, kind of a juicy opportunity if we don't get him out now.
Yeah. So he's feeling probably pretty safe at this point. And so we head into eviction night, and the 3 nominees have to play the
AI comp.
The AI comp. And I loved it. I thought it was really cool. It was kind of like the objective of the competition was you have to pick which house guest appeared most in these really chaotic videos, and they were all over the place. And it was really like trippy, and
it was nightmarish.
It reminded me of like it was scary. It reminded me of like Clockwork Orange, and there was like dark techno music going on in the background.
Yeah.
And I was starting to grind my teeth, and Adouria was on ecstasy.
I'm over here.
So it was nearly impossible to really know who was appearing the most. You basically just had to guess.
Yeah. And they had a clock. They had to do it in a certain amount of time. I think I don't know how much time they had, but
I think it was a minute.
Yeah. It wasn't a lot of time because they had to go straight into the eviction after. I can't remember who was seen the most. And they all had different answers. I would not have been able to know. I would have fucking guessed.
Yeah. And I think Chemo lucked out, and thank God he got himself off the block.
Yeah, I think if he
had
still been on the block, I feel like he might have gone home. But
not my, how do you say family? In
Aloha?
No, in Hawaiian. It was in Lilo and Stitch. Not my mahalo. Is that right?
I don't fucking know. Why would I know? I don't know.
So he won, and he starts crying immediately, and
he cry.
He cried. I mean, he cries a lot. So at this point, Matt probably feels pretty good about himself because Kenny has openly been like, I'm not going to campaign against you. I love you already. So he, and also he has the barbershop. So he feels like very good about his situation.
He feels good.
Little does he know, He's playing with some fucking smart savages.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it was Kenny and Matt on the block, everybody voted Matt. And it was a beautiful thing to see people playing the game the right way. They didn't make the same mistake everybody made in the past. They got his ass out. And it was a landslide victory for Kenny because it was 3 votes to 8. And the only 3 votes were Mackenzie, who wants to fuck him, Leah, who also wants to fuck him, let's be honest, and Lisa, who also wants to fuck him.
But I'm not sure why she actually, because she wasn't in that alliance. And
Leah?
she didn't promise, no, Lisa. And she didn't promise him anything. She was just like, I want to give you my vote. You're a nice guy, but I can't commit to anything.
I think she was probably just left in the dark because she's not really involved in any of the teen making stuff because I think people don't really like her in the house. So she probably just voted the way that she thought would benefit her, which I can see why keeping Matt in the house would be great because obviously he's going to gun straight for Angela next week.
Yeah, and part of me wishes that he stayed in the house just to drive Angela more crazy and just to like watch them shoot at each other.
Yeah, because again, they're not people.
It's smart. It's smart for them to have gotten rid of him. I can't remember who said it, but somebody when they voted him out, they were like, I'm not going to let this season be like every season. Was it Quinn?
Joseph.
Yeah. Joseph was like, I'm not going to let this season be like every season.
Joseph is, okay, let's give a quick shout out to Joseph. We were so wrong about you, brother. You're low-key one of my favorite guys in the house. And I hope that later when we're doing the drawing of the, winners, I hope I get you.
I hope I get him. He's hilarious.
We'll see.
You think that's going to make it on the episode?
No, he said this is going to make the episode.
Yeah. That'll make the episode.
So yeah, that takes us through all the events of the last week. And a cool thing that we're going to be doing this podcast is that we're going to be compiling stats. And we're going to be filling these categories out throughout the season. And the categories that we have come up with are number of alliances made, number of alliances broken up, number of blow-ups, and competition wins. And if you guys think of any other categories, comment below and we'll add it to the list.
Number of cries.
I didn't say number of cries?
No, you said number of blow-ups, which I guess cries can fall under that.
No. Number of cries is a separate category. I want to know cry
my
percentage.
Favorite category. I think it would be a good idea for Big Brother, like in their merch store, to bottle the tears of the house guests and sell it.
They should just harvest them for organs.
They probably are. We don't know what happens in their off time. Actually, we do. There's live feeds 24/7. So
True.
We'd see it.
They're definitely harvesting organs in one way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Sex.
Sexuals.
Sexually. So yeah, we're going to be doing stats and I'll show them up here, the categories, and we'll be compiling them throughout the season and they'll be fun and we'll keep track of all of it. And yeah, sports.
Sports is all about stats.
I love stats. I love stats.
I'm not good at numbers, so.
I'll do all the math. No, I shouldn't do all the math. So next up, we're going to be going through some of our worst first impressions. So I think right off the bat, Angela.
Yeah, we put her as most forgettable.
Yeah, I mean, beyond that, we were just like, oh, she's not going to have a good comp game. She's probably not going to win any comps. She's probably going to skate by her likability.
Yeah. I think it offended her that everybody immediately labeled her as mom because before that blow up, she was like, you all think I'm mom? I'm not mom. She was probably like, I'm coming to the Big Brother house to be my own person and not be everybody's mother. So I'm sure that triggered her. She seemed triggered.
And she won. We said she wasn't going to win any comps. Wins the first HOH competition, of course.
Yeah.
The whole time I was rooting against her. Doesn't matter. She's a beast. She's a shuffleboard beast.
Yeah. Of course she won the shuffleboard one. Of course.
But come on, Kenny.
That was her comp.
I know Kenny plays shuffleboard.
Kenny looks like he plays shuffleboard on boats. On like cruises.
Yeah. We were very wrong about her. We thought she was going to be like a sweet Midwesterny, like, oh, how y'all doing? Like, haha, you want some cookies? I'll make you some cookies. Oh, you want me to give you a back massage?
It would have been a great strategy, too, for her to just be the likable mom to everybody. She could have laid low. She could have skated by on likability.
But instead, she chose to be a savage, which I respect.
She chose violence.
She stood on business, and I respect that.
She chose violence.
She chose violence. She chose violence hard. She spent 3 hours at night choosing violence.
Yeah.
She practiced for choosing violence.
She literally did. Yeah. She looked crazy, laying in her room at 3 a.m., watching everybody on the house, which, by the way, they're all asleep. Yeah. She's watching them sleep, and she's like, they're thinking about getting me. And
the whole time she's calling Matt crazy. Crazy eyes. Crazy. And her eyes are fucked up.
I know. She kept like, what'd she do? She was like, crazy eyes.
Yeah. Dude, I hope she stays a long time because she is so entertaining. We were so wrong about you, Angela. Angela, if you're watching this, no.
Yeah, no.
No.
We said,
I wouldn't go that far.
We also said most likely to self-evict Lisa, but so far what I'm seeing of Lisa, I'm like, oh damn, she's kind of smart. She played her cards right.
Yeah, she seems like a very sensible lady, and I mean, her biggest strength right now is that she's able to just stay so in the background of all the drama. You know? And she was kind of like an unwilling casualty to the first nomination, but beyond that, she's drama free. No one's looking at her at all.
Yeah, and I think she's gonna go into the next week fine.
Yeah. I think there's a clear target on 3 people's backs: Mackenzie, Leah, and Angela.
Yeah, well, because Mackenzie and Leah, nobody's going to guess that Lisa is the third vote to keep Matt.
Right.
She's fine. They're not going to know. But obviously Mackenzie and Leah, they know voted for Matt because also immediately after he got evicted before the HOH competition, they looked into the camera together and they were just like, we're doing this for Matt.
We're gonna fuck her up. Yeah. We're going to kill her.
So, they're
that was crazy. That was crazy to do in the room.
Yeah, it was like, it's already obvious that them two voted to keep him because they're closest with him in the house, but don't dig a deeper hole for yourself.
Yeah.
If you're on the wrong side of the vote, okay, something's up. People are going to come for me, which I don't think is true. I think everybody's going to go straight for Angela just because she's already stirred up too much drama.
That's another thing we were wrong about is that we said that Leah and Mackenzie were going to be on the opposite sides of the house and they were going to butt heads, but they're besties.
Yeah, they're besties, which I do like, and I hope that they stick together.
Yeah.
It's nice to watch girls bonding. We were also wrong about Mackenzie. We listed her as freak of nature and echoes of Janelle, but Janelle would have never had a weak bitch moment like that.
Never, ever, ever, dude. Janelle would have sold her own husband to the slavers if it meant that she got to stay one more. That's so intense. Why did I say that?
Take it again and say something a little less.
Now I'm only thinking about worse stuff.
Janelle would have sold her own soul, which she's done before, to stay in the Big Brother house an extra week.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why she's one of the GOATs, man. One of the greatest Big Brothers to never win.
We said bitchiest bitch was going to be Leah.
Yeah, still could be true, but so far she's okay. She's likable.
She's chilling.
She had a couple funny moments.
Yeah.
She's a chiller. So, yeah.
Most likely to kill a house guest, we said, was Joseph, and that still could be true.
That's true. He's still very sus. He's still very, very suspicious as a character. He wears sunglasses inside because he's a poker player, but still.
Yeah.
Sus.
So that you can't see what he's thinking.
He still has a mustache. That hasn't changed. And until that changes,
he's suspicious.
We're not going to trust you.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we're going to be doing something pretty fun. And we actually planned this for the first episode, but we just kind of ran out of time. We forgot. So in this bowl, we have all of the house guests of the season. And we're going to be picking names out of here, 5 names each. And they're going to be kind of like we're betting on the ponies, And, as the season goes on, some of our players will be eliminated. And the first person to have all their house guests eliminated will have to do the 1 chip challenge. So that's a little fun thing that we're going to be doing for you guys. And
don't look when you pull.
Yeah, obviously. Here's the bowl. Here's the names. And do the honors.
I got Tucker.
First pick, Tucker. I got T-Core.
Oh, fuck. I got Angela. God damn it.
Oh, also, by the way, Matt's still in here because we planned this for the first week. So if you get Matt, too bad for you.
You're fucked.
Hell yeah, I got Quinn.
Everybody I've gotten so far, I have no feelings about. Well, actually, I have feelings about Angela. Cam.
And you definitely have feelings about Cam.
I got feelings for Cam.
Coochie feelings. Rubina. Hell yeah, Asian connection.
Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea's going to be good.
Yeah, the mega church Chelsea. Mega church Chelsea. Ooh.
You're good at that.
Yeah.
Did you just look at a name and then put it down?
No, I didn't. I didn't look at it. Also, the name I picked up was Cedric. I would have kept that. Cedric.
I wanted Cedric.
I got Cedric.
I love him. I feel like he's going to be good and sneaky.
He's my little boy.
Oh, God. The guy who doesn't even want to be here anymore, Kenny.
Yeah. Also, he spells his name with an EY. That's so weird.
Why is that weird?
All right, and for my final pick, not Matt. Joseph!
Can you untrade anybody?
Nope. So
I didn't get anybody I wanted.
Adouria has Tucker, Cam, Angela, Chelsea, and Kenny. Those are her ponies.
Ooh.
And then I have
Joseph, Cedric. I wanted him. Rubina, Quinn, T-Core. That's not fair. You have the most solid group.
I know. I kind of lucked out there. I have some smarties on my team. I got Queen of the Nuds. Queen of the Nuds.
Queen of the Nuds. Yeah, everybody that you have is like smart and laying low-ish, except for Quinn, who's already ran his big mouth about his power.
Yeah, but you got some people who are doing good in comps.
Yeah, I think Cam's good. Chelsea's good. I don't have any feelings about Tucker. I think he could potentially make himself a target with his big personality, but I haven't seen anything that indicates that yet. Kenny doesn't care about being here, so that's awesome for me. And Angela's probably gone next week, so
Boo-hoo for you.
I'm doing well.
So like we said, the first person with all of their house guests eliminated will have to do the one chip challenge. However, if one of your guys, one of your ponies, makes it to the final lap, meaning they win the whole show, then they get a special reward to be determined later.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
But it'll be fucking amazing.
It's going to cause harm on the other person, most likely.
Yeah.
It's going to be a punishment for the other person. So yeah, stay tuned for what happens with that. And yeah, I think that's about all that we wanted to talk about. And next, we're going to be playing our games. First up, we're going to be doing a blind ranking of Big Brother villains. So rank these Big Brother villains for me without knowing who comes next.
Ooh.
You ready?
No.
Let's go. First up, Shima Simone.
She's not really a villain. She's just like, she just doesn't take any shit, which I respect.
She was a villain to production.
She was a villain to production. She would not listen to them.
Yeah.
Number 4, I mean, she apologized for what she did, so she's not really, she's bad, but she's not bad.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Shima at number 4. Next up, Aaron Grease.
Oh, God. Erin's problematic because she was racist the entire season she was on.
And that's why we love her.
And she appears on Fox News right now to this day. But she wasn't.
So she's media savvy?
She's media savvy. All villains are. I'll rate her number 2. I don't want to fill up my number 1 or my number 5 spot yet, so I'll rate her number 2.
Smart. Next up, Will Kirby.
I love him. He's not really a villain in the way that
We love you, Will.
I would categorize a villain. He's just kind of a troll. So I'll rate him number 3 and dead in the middle.
And Will, if you're watching this, and I know you are because you Google your name 6 times a week, we're open. Would you rate him?
3.
3.
Number 3.
Will Kirby at 3. All right. Next up is Rachel Riley.
I don't know, man.
You have 1 and 5 open.
I know. She was just kind of a menace, but she was a good player. She's a good player.
But we're just rating her on villainousness.
She didn't do anything that bad, you know? Like, I wouldn't put her above Aaron. Like, she wasn't racist. She wasn't bad inside. She's just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I'll rate her number 5.
Number 5?
Oh, God. Kind of risky to leave number 1 open.
All right. Last but not least, Evil Dick.
Oh, I love him. He could be number 1. He earned it.
I think that's a solid list.
That's a solid list.
All right.
Evil Dick, number 1. Icon. If you're watching, actually, you had to leave for bad reasons.
Yeah, I'm not open to that, dude.
But I would love to talk to you over a coffee. Number 2, Aaron. Number 3, Will Kirby. Number 4, Shima. And number 5, Vegas.
I am Vegas.
Vegas.
All right, that was fun. Next up, we're going to be building Big Brother alliances from the Avatar world. Last Airbender, not blue. Not blue. Not Way of Water. Water. You have to be like water. Water.
Only you can do that.
Why?
I can't do that.
You can do anything you believe in.
Who's going first?
Water. So we've been watching Avatar recently, so we thought this would be a fun little draft that combines both of our interests.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get the first pick. So with my first pick, I pick Toph Beifong.
Slay.
Obvious first pick. Come on.
Yeah.
She's the GOAT.
You had to get her.
She's so cool. She's, funny as hell, so she's going to have a great social game. She's a little hindered by the fact that she's blind, but she's also made up for it with a bunch of inventive things. And she can listen in on people's conversations.
With her feet, yeah.
Yeah, with her feet.
The downside is that she doesn't really work well with others.
But she does if it's necessary.
Yeah.
If push comes to shove, she'll have your back.
Yeah. Okay. I get 2, right? We're doing snake draft.
Yeah.
Okay, good. My top 2. For my first pick, I'm going to pick my girl, Azula.
Oh, that's good.
Obvious reasons. She can shoot lightning. Nobody can stop her. Barely the Avatar could stop her, really.
Yeah.
She's a bad bitch.
If you cross her, she'll kill you.
She'll kill you.
That's a good pick.
The downside to her, she's not going to have a good social game because if you don't worship her, she doesn't know how to interact with you.
Yeah. But she is really good at everything. But the first time she fucks up or makes a mistake, she's going to crumble.
Also, the second she gets power, she's going to go a little crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's going to cut her hair off in the HOH room.
Yeah.
She's going to cry and laugh.
Yeah, at the same time.
The collective is coming to get me.
But she's powerful. She's powerful. So she's definitely somebody you would want to have her skills on your side. For my second pick, I'm going to pick my favorite of all time, Milo.
Oh my God.
I couldn't not pick Milo. He is my favorite character. Does he have as many skills as some other characters?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's going to have a great social game.
Yeah.
He's going to be lovable. He's going to be funny the whole time. He might go a little bit crazy with power, but you love him anyway. Sweet little Milo.
He is mentally who Josh is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good pick. Oh, man. I wish I thought of that.
He would not cry as much as Josh, though.
No.
He's a man who never cries.
Yeah, he is a man.
He's a man. He's a 5-year-old man.
He's got a funny head. What's not to love about Milo?
Milo's the best.
All right, that's a good pick. All right, for my second pick, I am going to take Boomy.
Oh.
Got a lot of Earthbenders on my roster.
Yeah.
Boomy, I just love how crazy he is. He's going to be one of those guys who, you know, he's in the background until he's absolutely sure when to strike.
Yeah.
Like the raid on Ba Sing Se, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a floater, and then he's going to come in clutch when it's necessary. And and he's jacked. So he's going to be a comp beast.
Yeah.
And for my third pick, I have to take Zuko.
It's okay. He's not on my list.
Zuko is going to come into the house being a villain. He's going to put a huge target on his back, but he's going to somehow survive because he's a survivor, you know? He's going to survive, and eventually people are going to soften to him because on the inside, he's just a sensitive little boy.
Yeah.
And he's going to be fiercely loyal, and he's going to be hot.
I'll take you to the end. That's my best. That's my best impression.
Yeah, so for my third pick, I take Zuko.
All right. That's solid.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be liked at the end of the day.
Yeah, he does. But he's also willing to do what's necessary, you know? He's ruthless at heart.
I feel like he's going to be the type of guy that, like, inside the alliance, he's the one who's willing to get blood on his hands.
Yeah,
like if somebody's
absolutely.
like, "Oh, we need to get this person out," he'll be like, "I'll do it so you like me." Not to make fun of the voice actor.
You're
love
so stupid.
All right, welcome to the nomination ceremony. Okay. For my third pick, I'm gonna pick Jinora. How many times did she bail out Korra's ass?
Damn.
Time and time again. And she could just fucking go into spirit mode and then go listen in on people's conversations.
True.
So
And she's a brainiac.
she's smart. She's smart.
She's always the one who comes up with the clutch idea, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. We had multiple seasons where she saved Korra's ass. And then everybody was like, "Oh my God, Korra, you did it."
Yeah, I can see her being like Maggie, where she's just a very low-key good player.
She's not even there to win. She's just like, "I'm just here because like my friends are here."
Yeah, exactly. Maggie Austin is a perfect comparison.
For my fourth pick, I'm going to pick Eska.
Oh.
Not even for any skills that she brings, just because she's hilarious. I think she's going to be so, like, people are just not going to know how to take her, so I think they're just going to not see her as a threat.
Yeah, she's too weird for people to get a handle on her.
Yeah, like, she's just going to be like, "Boyfriend, insert yourself into me."
No, not that one.
Which one were you talking about?
Just say something
"Boyfriend, come speak with me in the HOH room. We need to strategize." People are going to be like, "Oh, she's not strategizing."
That's so funny. I will say, though, I feel like without Desna, she might start falling apart in the house.
She'll just, potentially, because they're attached to the hip.
Yeah. So I feel like if you draft her, you have to draft Desna. And if you don't, then both become null and void.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Those are not the rules. She'll be fine without him. She'll find
Have
some
you ever
guy.
seen her without him?
No, but she'll find somebody. She's going to slap a dog collar on them, a scary dog collar, and she's going to be like, "We are married now in the house. You must do as I say. You may express yourself through tears."
Oh, you do such a good Edna. Is it Edna?
It's Eska.
Eska.
Edna, how dare you?
You do
She's
such a good
queen.
Eska.
I love her.
Yeah.
Because there's part of me that wants to be like her.
Yeah.
Just like fucking weird as fuck and like.
Oh, you're pretty weird.
I'm pretty weird, but
Looking.
I want to be weird in a way that's scary.
Yeah.
And like I'm too sensitive and like I have too many emotions to be Eska.
Yeah.
Eska has one facial expression and one tone, and I always wanted to be like she's just like cool and scary.
Yeah, I feel like that might help her in the house too. The fact that she's like so emotionless.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good pick. I'm not going to say that's a good pick. That's an okay pick. All right. For my fourth pick, I'm going to take Uncle Iroh.
Yeah. I knew it. I left him for you. I could have
Oh,
picked
yeah,
him.
sure.
No, I
sure,
literally
sure.
could have. I did think about picking him for my fourth pick, but
Iroh is... he's gonna be so likable right off the bat. He's gonna make friends with everybody, but somehow no one is gonna think of him as a threat.
Yeah.
Because he's an old man. He's kind of chubby. He drinks tea all day. And then when shit gets real, he's going to start doing pull-ups. He's going to start doing push-ups.
Yeah.
He's going to start just getting ripped. And then he's going to take bossing say.
Yeah. And I feel like he's the type of character that will lay so low until the end when he actually starts needing to win competitions. Like, nobody's going to see him as a competition threat until it gets down to the very end. I feel like he's going to kind of be everybody's uncle in the house where somebody goes through something and then they're just like, do you have any advice? And he's going to be like,
100%. I was going to say that. I was going to say that he's going to be like everyone's confidant, you know?
Yeah, and he's going to make tea for everybody all the time. He'll hold court.
Prince Zuko!
That's pretty good.
Long time ago, in a distant land.
Are you a coup now?
Yeah, I'm a coup. Same voice actor.
Same voice actor.
Shout out to Mako, R.I.P.
Yeah, he's the real one.
Yeah. Oh, do you think they named a character in Legend of Korra Mako after him?
Oh. Duh.
Oh my god, I never put the pieces together. Yeah.
As an homage.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so nice.
Is that your fourth or fifth pick?
That's my fourth pick. For my fifth pick, I'm going to take Bolin.
Nice.
For the simple fact, he is going to be the pawn.
Yeah.
And he's going to love it, and he's going to do whatever it takes to keep his friends happy. He's going to be a willing pawn. He's also very buff, so that helps. He could be useful in the competitions, and he's funny, so he's got a good social game. Simple.
Yeah, he's a good pick.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to love him.
Yeah. He's just a very lovable guy. He's goofy, you know. Even though he's pretty physically, like, jacked, no one's going to think of him as a threat.
Yeah.
Because he's got a weird little hair loopy, and
He's got a baby face.
he's got a baby face and round eyes, and he just looks like a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my fifth pick. Fifth pick, Bolin.
Can I have like 3 more picks?
No.
There's just so many characters
No,
that
no,
I
no, no.
like.
No. Save it.
Can I tell you who I'm going to pick, and then can I tell you who I would have picked?
Yeah.
All right. For my fifth and final pick, I'm going to pick Asami. Salami. Salami.
Hot
Because
salami.
she's going to, she's going to shake her tatas. She's hot. So she's going to fool everybody with her beauty. They're not even going to know she's got brains. This bitch knows how to build war weapons, okay? She's going to fuck shit up.
She's gonna fuck shit
And she's going to
up.
look good while she does it. And she's going to be like, oh, who, me? I didn't know that.
And she's a very sweet, caring person, too. So she's going to be
is.
very likable.
She is.
She's going to be the most thirsted after house guest in the house. She can't bend, though.
She can bend, but I don't.
She can bend me over.
She can bend me over. Asami, if you're watching. We're open. Okay. I also really wanted to pick.
You have a fat list.
I do have a fat list. There's so many characters I love in that show.
Yeah.
I also wanted to pick.
Oh, nobody picks Sokka. That's crazy.
I also wanted to pick Zahir for the sheer fact that he would have done whatever he had to do to keep the attention away from whoever he was working with. He would have
Right.
caused chaos. And also, I think he would have been a physical threat, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That man learned how to fly. He
Yeah.
learned how to fly. And then I also
Become weightless.
detach yourself from the things of the world.
Enter the void.
Enter the void. And then I also wanted to pick Julie. She's quiet. She's
That's
unsuspecting.
low-key a great pull.
She's loyal as fuck.
She's the best second in command in the whole show.
She's a super secret weapon. She's totally unsuspecting. She says 5 words the entire time she's in the house.
And she doesn't make mistakes, as Bolin says.
She doesn't make a single mistake. Even when you think she's working against you,
Yeah.
she's working for you over time.
Yeah. Yeah,
she'll-
she's gonna be a little secret agent. You know,
Yeah.
she's gonna double cross you publicly and then feed you information.
Which would be such a Dan Giesling move when he called out Danielle and he was like, you know what you did. Fuck you. And then he pulled her in the room and was like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
And she, like, whoever made a final 2 with her would be set to the end.
And she'd be okay getting second.
Yeah.
She would be totally fine getting second.
She knows how to not
As
be
long
in
as
the
you
limelight.
marry her.
Yeah. Do the thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing, Julie. That's pretty good.
Yeah. But I didn't pick her, so.
I think you should have. That was low-key your best pull.
She's on the bench.
Okay. She's on the bench. I don't get any bench because my 5 is too OP. And next up, we have life or death. So Adouria is going to present me with 2 situations, 2 scenarios, and I have to say which one I would rather bet my life on.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Get scared.
I'm scared.
All right. Life or death? Would you rather bet your life on Yvette from season 6 going 1 hour without saying Cappy? Or Vanessa Russo from BB17 not succumbing to her paranoia?
I mean, Vanessa was a solid player for some of that season, so I have to say Vanessa. Like, she held it together for like a little bit, but I think I think Vanessa said Cappy. Oh my God, she was so fucking annoying. She was so annoying. Cappy. Oh, I miss you, Cappy. I miss you, Cappy. I've known you for 7 days.
This is for Cappy.
I would literally give you my liver, Cappy. Oh, I need that to live. It's okay. I'm gonna give it to Cappy anyway.
All right. So you went with Vanessa.
Vanessa. I'm dead either way, but yeah.
She did have some moments, but
She was good. She was good for some of it.
if I had $1 for the amount of times Yvette said Cappy in her season, I would have had as much money as a Big Brother winner.
Yeah.
All right. The next scenario. Would you bet your life on Jose from season 18 going 1 day without calling himself the Messiah of the house? Or would you bet your life on Raven from season 19 going 1 week without bringing up one of her several made-up illnesses?
Oh, that's tough.
I'm like,
I
the
mean,
Messiah.
Jose said he went home so early. So he didn't really get a chance to say it that many times. So I'll bet on that.
Okay.
But Raven literally mentioned that she had so many things wrong.
I'm literally dying. I'm dying right now.
I'm dying, but I'm in Mensa.
I'm the puppet master of this season.
She was low-key so attractive. Anyway, Raven, if you...
You can have that by yourself. I won't partake. She's nuts, dude.
So I would bet on Jose.
All right. For your next scenario, would you bet your life on Josh from season 19 stirring up drama without immediately crying after? Or would you bet your life on Lisa from this season not adding edible glitter to a single thing in the house?
I mean, it's a guarantee, 100 out of 100,
You're gonna
that Josh
die.
is going to cry.
He's always like, you're a fucking meatball. Like immediately go,
Yeah, he would fucking hit pots and pans in somebody's face while they're sleeping and then cry about how they called him fat.
or stupid. Oh, Josh.
Yeah, I'm betting on Lisa 10 times out of 10 because she only mentioned edible glitter one time.
Okay. For your next scenario, would you bet your life on Brendan pulling his weight in his alliance with Rachel, aka actually winning competitions? Or would you bet your life on Aaron going 15 minutes without having a racist thought?
I got to go with Brendan. I mean, at the end of the day, he's an athletic man. He can pull it out once in a while, you know? But once you're racist, it's hard to go back. I know from personal experience.
True.
It took me 8 years to get off racism.
Proud of you every day.
Yeah, I kicked it.
All right, so you're going with Brendan.
Brendan, yeah.
Brenna! Nobody comes between me and mama. Should we be Brendan and Rachel for Halloween?
Yeah.
You'll be
You
Rachel.
have to get gigantic fake titties.
No, you're going to be Rachel.
I have to get gigantic fake titties. I'm going to do it before you, Steve-O.
Damn.
That's a challenge.
Damn. All right, for your fifth and final scenario, would you bet your life on Paul not winning second place? Or would you bet your life on Caleb taking no for an answer from a woman?
I gotta go with Beast Mode Cowboy. Paul's never gonna be anything but second. Okay, he's the second place in the Big Brother house. He's the second place in his relationship. He probably lasts 6 seconds in bed.
And everywhere he goes, he's always going to be the one and only Big Brother player to win second place twice.
Yeah.
He lost twice.
He's the goated second place player.
Greatest of never.
He's a record-setting loser.
All right, but Caleb's married, so that was probably more likely that he could take no for an answer.
Yeah, and towards the end of the season, he was becoming like more, I don't know if woke is the right word, but like just like more
Likeable?
more evolved and likable. Yeah. I like Beast Mode Cowboy.
He's problematic, though.
He is problematic. I don't like what he represents, but I like how he addresses himself.
Okay.
All right, and that's the end of the episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Curious.